Come with me into the trees. We'll lay on the grass and let the hours pass. Take my hand, come back to the land. Let's get away just for one day. Let me see you stripped down to the bone. Let me see you stripped down to the bone. Metropolis has nothing on this. You're breathing in fumes I taste when we kiss. Take my hand, come back to the land where everything's ours for a few hours. Let me see you stripped down to the bone. Let me see you stripped down to the bone. Let me hear you make decisions without your television. Let me hear you speaking just for me. Let me see you stripped down to the bone. Let me hear you speaking just for me. Let me see you stripped down to the bone. Let me hear you crying just for me. Let me see you stripped down to the bone. Let me hear you speaking just for me. Welcome to a very tired episode of The Apocalypse. I almost didn't do it tonight. No one's going to see it any bloody way. What's the fucking point? Anyway, welcome to another episode of The Apocalypse. Congratulations for choosing The Apocalypse, by the way. A ballsy choice. Not one I would have made. But then who am I? But death. And since you have unwisely chosen The Apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Trust me on that one. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide, your humble guide, Nicholas. So good to see you a bloody gain. There were so many bloody abominations, I don't know where to start. Son. And it was only within 1 day's time. Not 4 years, not a month. 1 bloody day. Let us begin. Jerome Powell sends strongest signal yet that interest rate cuts are coming. So I guess the right threat was made to the right family member or whatever, because all of a sudden Jerome is hinting he's going to do what Donnie wants. I wonder why that happened. FBI searches John Bolton's Maryland home. The second I heard about this, and again, these are the first two headlines when I woke up today, I was just like, Jesus. I thought just retribution, because Bolton's been talking shit on Donnie for a few years now, and lately. So, you know, what the hell? And here's a real wake-up call, Rubes. John Bolton is a hardcore Republican. He is the Republican establishment. Okay? And he got his house raided. For nothing. Just because Donnie wanted to. Do you hear me, son? What I'm trying to tell you, quickly, because I'm fucking tired. It doesn't matter whether you voted for this, you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, Constitutional, whatever the fuck label you put on yourself. Establishment Republican, they just raided his house just because Donnie felt like it. Just because some Epstein files were supposed to be released today. Again, this was always the agenda, though. His enemies, whoever is on his revenge list, he was always going after those people. He just accelerated the plan a little bit because of the Epstein thing. Again, I told you, once it blew up, I told you, now Donnie's backed into a corner. Now he's more dangerous. A cornered rat is the most dangerous rat, son. Donnie was in a corner. Look at what he's done since then. FBI raid on a man's home in the Republican hardcore establishment just because Donnie don't like him. That's it. That's the story, man. That's our country now. I tried to warn people for 10 years. It's too late now, man. And again, it don't matter if you're Republican, Democrat. That's, again, establishment Republican. That would have voted MAGA had he not worked for Donnie and they had their falling out. Maybe he did vote MAGA. Who knows? Here's George Conway. A quote from an interview he did that looks like this. And I've said the same thing. I said it before the election. I said it. If you want to have a coup against the constitutional order, you want to control the capital city. And if he has control of policing in the city of Washington, who's going to tell him to leave the White House? Exactly. And when they unfurl the full Reich, which they're doing by the day, they're not hiding it. They expect backlash, protests, people to descend upon D.C. Troops are on the street now. Too late, son. Checkmate. That's the move I was worried about. Even worse than troops in L.A. because that's where Donnie is in D.C. People may want to protest there. Now no one can get near anything. Checkmate. It's over. That's for the short term. For the long term, when he doesn't leave, and I promise you he's not leaving. That should be evident by now anyway. I shouldn't even have to say it. The coup was kind of an indicator as well. If he has control of that entire area, the White House via the military, any outside influence cannot get there. Any inside influence can be arrested by that very military. I'm talking about people that work for the government. The people you elect. One day, a bunch of them are going to get rounded up. Why? Because just Donnie don't like them, that's why. Just like that raid happened at Mr. Bolton's house today. Just because some Epstein promises were made by somebody, I don't even remember who. Did we ever see that stuff? No, we didn't, did we? Once again, Rubes, you've been hornswalloped. And he sent the FBI to raid a man's house as a distraction, just to fuck with him. Many reasons. See, the problem is, Rubes, I know you don't care. You'll call Bolton, what, a rhino or something. Who gives a fuck? If they can do it to Big Johnny Bolton, they can do it to you, son. That's the problem with what you've done here. Too late, we can't go back. And by the time you realize it's a problem, it will be too late. Already is too late. Control the Capitol. Checkmate. Over. Donnie can do whatever the fuck he wants now. Whatever he wants. And look at what we've seen already. That's why, again, I was screaming before the election, please don't do it, to rich, to poor, to Rube, to non-Rube. Please don't do it. Don't give him the keys. Because if you do, it's over. And I know you guys said that about Hillary Clinton and Kamala and Joe and Obama. Well, you're fucking morons. I'm not. I know the real thing when I see it. And this is the real thing. Just like Faith No More fucking says. Again, I ain't Alex Jones. I don't sell snake oil. This is not the Obama years. Just because you don't like a black guy, he's the Antichrist. No, son, that's not how it works. The Antichrist is the one you voted for. Which makes you what? Think about that. Here's Ron Filipkowski commenting on the Bolton raid today. In case you didn't know, the FBI under Kash Patel and Donnie and Bondi and all of them, they raided John Bolton, the hardcore Republican government official, former. Again, that ain't no liberal, son. This isn't about John Bolton, so whatever you think about him is irrelevant. It is about every person who dares to publicly criticize Trump. Right, we've seen it how many times now? Reporters, comedians, whatever. He wants them all fired. Until all we have is Greg Gutfeld. That makes for a really great world, doesn't it? No, that's called a nightmare fucking dystopia. Greg Gutfeld is not actually talented. All he does is sit there so he can laugh at Jessica Tarloff when she tells the truth. When she states reality. And so you Rubes can laugh along too. It's about intimidating and silencing all of us. Indeed, examples are being made. Have you noticed? I have. And it will work with some. You're damn right. Again, the second he won, Mika and Joe were on a flight to go see him and beg for their lives. All the CEOs, tech bros, everyone you can fucking name, laid millions at his feet. Automatic. Didn't have to say nothing. Look at him now. So yeah, it worked on a lot. It's going to work on most is my prediction. I don't expect a lot of people to make it. And you don't even need to know where I'm talking about. I expect most to go along. And I bet I won't fucking be disappointed. Unfortunately for all of us. Because it all leads to the abyss, son. That's the only place it's going. There are going to be many more Boltons in the coming months, yep. You think Rosie moved to Ireland for nothing? You think I'm telling the Obamas and Clintons and everyone, the Bolton, get the fuck out the country. What are you still doing here? That's going to happen to you. It's already happening to Mr. Bolton. Cheney, Kinzinger, don't just keep laughing. Get the fuck out the country. He coming for you. Unless you want to be a martyr, whatever. I commend that. My advice, though, Clintons, Obamas, you know who's on the list for the revenge tour. I suggest you get out the country. I don't want to see you leave the country, but for your own safety, because the Reich is coming for you. That should be evident by now. Yeah, so it wasn't about anything legitimate. He just went after Bolton. I remember watching Bolton the other day say something about Donnie. It clicked the second I saw this headline. Oh, revenge tour. That's all this is. This is Gavin Newsom. Wrote another piece in Rube Speak, which I will motor mouth my way through. Wow, my maps, the best maps ever made, will soon pass in the greatest legislature anywhere in the world, not just America. America can thank me, Gavin C. Newsom, and two very special people, Magic Mike and Rainmaker Robert, who lead the legislature, Total legends. These are perfect, beautiful maps. Better than Columbus, better than Google Maps, better than Apple Maps. Sorry, Tim, no gold bar for me, but I still love you. People are already screaming, Mama, Mama, and I say, no, I am your daddy. The golden era begins in the Golden State. All because of me, the people's governor. Uh-oh. The cartographer-in-chief, who will now let the people vote. Thank you, USA, GCN. At least we can get a bit of comedy during the downfall of Earth. And don't worry, it's not going to explode. You'll wish it did, though. Trump on John Bolton. Donnie did the act like, I don't know, what are you talking? I don't know nothing. Whenever Donnie answers the question initially with, I don't know anything about it, that means he's literally behind it. Trump on, and I have more context as we go through on these same comments so you can really fully grasp it all the abominations. That's what I'm trying to show you here. Record abominations per day with this evil fuck. He's wearing a hat. He looks dopey. He looks fucking, I don't know what drugs they got him on. He's got makeup all over his hand every day, I guess because of intravenous things they're doing. They're putting something here. He's probably getting shot up with drugs like Hitler was. Just in a drip instead. I don't know. His eyes, he can barely open them. He looks horrible. He's wearing the Trump was right about everything hat. And that's where most of these comments come from. This kind of scene. Classy, Donnie keeping it classy. As always. The grift must also always be front and center. That's why the hat's on. And remember in scripture they said some people will take a mark on their forehead. That'll represent a man. And there's a number that goes with that mark. Just a thought. I'm not saying the hat's the mark. I'm not saying that. But, you never know. He's not a smart guy, but he could be a very unpatriotic guy. We're going to find out. So no crimes mentioned. Right off the bat, it's straight up authoritarianism, North Korea shit. No crime. Let me just, smear his name a little bit, say he's unpatriotic, because the Rubes respond to that. That justifies me weaponizing law enforcement to go after him. That's what you're witnessing. For our opening abomination, or was there one before that? There's so many. Well, the raid itself, the troops in D.C., yeah, there was a few before that. Okay. Not quite opening, but almost. Again, he is not a smart guy. He could be a very unpatriotic guy. We're going to find out. Again, you're supposed to have probable cause and, a crime when you target someone like this, when law enforcement does it. Not just, well, we know you're guilty, so we're going to come in your house and search until we find something. No, that's not how it works. He is not a smart guy. He could be a very unpatriotic guy. We're going to find out. Not he committed a crime, and that's why law enforcement went to the house. I know nothing about it. That means he's literally behind it and everyone knows it, including the most staunch rube. I just saw it this morning. They did a raid. No, you did a raid, Donnie. That's the little child trying to throw it on someone else's shoulders. Because they're a little child. They did a raid. Trump on FBI. Again, I'll give you more context on this. The more context you get, the worse it is, by the way. I've had so many people over the years say, you just read pieces. You only see pieces of what he says. First, one, I knew this guy before you even knew he existed. I knew what he was and who he was. That's why I was never down with him. Once he got into politics, seriously. Second, when you add more context to anything Donnie does or says, it gets worse, not better, son. I'm sorry. Don't blame me, blame the Orange Maniac. I could know about it. I could be the one starting it. I'm actually the chief law enforcement officer. That's after he denied it. Again, that's a little child telling on himself. Donnie is not a good liar. He never has been. He telegraphs his intentions, and they're always nefarious. Unbelievable. That's just him admitting it for you right there. This is Krishnamurthy on the FBI raiding Bolton's house. So this is on CNN. A commentator is on there. Democrat Oversight and Government Reform Committee. So I guess he's a representative. CNN, that's what it looks like. And I had forgotten that Epstein stuff was supposed to be released today, because I don't take it very seriously. Once the 1,000 FBI agents got put on it to redact Donnie's name, and then they told all of us that it doesn't exist, after they said it was on Bondi's desk for weeks, I don't expect shit from it. I will never take it seriously. It's going to be a joke now. So I forgot about it. This person didn't. It looks like it's also an attempt to distract from the other big news of the day, which is the first production of the Epstein files that is required by subpoena from the Oversight Committee, and they want to change the conversation indeed. Indeed. And they were set to release something today. It was announced, remember last week? They lied again. Why are they hiding it from you, rubes? Could Donnie be a pedo? We were all yelling that he was for 10 fucking years. Again, Donnie on the whole Bolton thing. I tell Pam, that's Miss Bondi, I don't want to know about it. You have to do what you have to do. That's absolutely not true. That's how you're supposed to do things when you're president. You're not supposed to lead, point people out for targeting. That's up to the Attorney General to target criminals, not the president. Donnie, again, this is a naked and obvious political retribution hit Donnie just pulled today. I tell Pam I don't want to know about it. You have to do what you have to do. I don't want to know about it. It's not necessary. I could know about it. I could be the one starting it. I'm actually the chief law enforcement officer, but it's better that way. Yeah, that's a child telling on himself. And again, Donnie's not clever. He's just ruthless, and everyone sits back and lets it happen. He just straight told on himself. He repeated that he didn't know anything and he doesn't want to know about it 7 times. We know Donnie's a, what's that called? A compulsive liar. He just told on himself. Here's Donnie on the True Social money laundering that looks like that. Washington, D.C. is safe again. Yeah, because no humans are there. The crowds are coming back. No, they're not. The spirit is high. No, it isn't. And our D.C. National Guard and police are doing a fantastic job. No, they're not. They are out in force and are not playing games. As bad as it sounds to say, there were no murders this week for the first time in memory. Mayor Muriel Bowser must immediately stop giving false and highly inaccurate crime figures, or bad things will happen, including a complete and total federal takeover of the city. Washington, D.C. will soon be great again. Well, Donnie just said what he's about to do. He's already taken it over. I don't know what he's talking about. Going to take it over more? Yeah. That's what he's talking about. I told you once the military was deployed in LA, you were witnessing the literal military takeover of your country. And again, I know you've heard a lot of jerk-offs over the years with a camera pointed at them saying what I'm saying. The difference is they weren't me, son. That's the fucking difference. I ain't doing this for fun or money or anything like that. Because believe me, it ain't fucking fun and there ain't no money in it. So I must be here for another reason. And it ain't because I want attention either. I'd love to go to fucking sleep right now is what I'd like to do. But this is that dire. I mean, again, he's flat out saying, as we're watching, troops walk around in D.C. and masked men and more police, he's saying, I'm going to take it over more. Again, all of it's happening. The military takeover, concentration camps, the annexations will start eventually. Everything they said, the roundups, the masked men with machine guns, Nazi Germany. It's happening, son. And no, it wasn't the liberals, son, and it wasn't the liberals back in 33 either, in Germany. Funny how it's the same group all over again, right-wing nationalists. Right-wing white nationalists. 2025, and I'm talking about a Nazi Reich being built in America. And they have the keys to everything. That's fucking horrifying. Trump hints at sending the National Guard to other cities. Well, no, he's not hinting at it. He's telling you he's going to do it. I have calls from politicians begging me to go to Chicago, begging me to go to New York, begging me to go to L.A. Well, he's in L.A. There was 4,000 troops, then 2,000. Now there's 250. Oh, there was active duty Marines as well. Remember that? Because they really want the precedent set, and by they I mean the Reich. And boy, is it set, son. And boy, did the military just go right the fuck along. What a shame. I'm going to give you more context on this. People are not begging him to do a military takeover of any city. That's not happening. On the left, you have Obama's White House and how it looked, or Oval Office. On the right, you have Trump's. Let's look at Obama's first, quickly. This is what the Obama Oval Office looked like. Quite normal, right? Not overly decorated. No gold everywhere. Normal. Now let's look at the Oval now. It looks like a South American dictator's throne room. Scarface should be like sitting back there or something. Look at that. Gold everywhere. The pictures, the fucking 87 gold, fake gold cups. Donnie wants you to think this is all real gold in the room, too. For some reason, he needs you to believe that. Like I said before, there is a difference between men. On top of that, I've said this over and over for 10 years at different points. We all go around saying both sides are the same. They're all the same. They're two sides of the same coin. All the politicians are the same. Blah, blah. Who fucking cares? And every once in a while, a Hitler comes along and burns down the whole fucking world. As we all walked around complacently saying they're all the same. They're not all the same. I've learned that lesson the hard way. And every now and then, you get this. Just look at this room and think about this, what I'm about to say. Who would make a room like this other than a sociopath bent on ruling the whole fucking world? Donnie's a Hitler. Again, Donnie in the same interview setting with the hideous hat on, eyes barely open. They must have him all gacked up. Have you been briefed on the FBI raid on John Bolton's house? No, I don't know about it. That means he's behind it. I saw it on television this morning. No, you didn't. You made it happen. I'm not a fan of John Bolton. Yeah, we know. By the raid. He's a real sort of lowlife, says the convicted felon. Trump again. We are going to make D.C. totally safe. When people come from Iowa and Indiana, all the beautiful places, they're not going to go home in a body bag. I think we know what he's trying to say there. And it's often how he says it. And he said it out loud. We all heard it. I think he's talking about a specific complected group of people from Iowa and Indiana. And a specific group of complected people in D.C. We all know what he's trying to say. Let's not pretend. We don't have to pretend because he says more. To me, D.C. is very exciting, and a lot of people say, where is he going from there? The military takeover of D.C. is exciting to Donnie. That's how he's promoting it. Well, I have calls from politicians begging me to go to Chicago, begging me to go to New York, begging me to go to Los Angeles. So, class, what's going to happen next? The military's going to go to Chicago, New York. They're already in fucking Los Angeles. Donnie forgot he already, pulled the Hitler move on Cali, on L.A. It slipped his mind. And he just said it anyway because it was always the plan. To do this military takeover. What did I say before the election? And when they won and right after? Once he has the keys to the military, it is over. He had all the other positions pretty much sycophanted up. Once he got the military and had the keys and got the sycophants in place, over. And I was right. And now he has I don't know what to call it, a buffer zone of soldiers between the White House and the world. Checkmate. We lose. The Rubes too. They just don't know it yet. This is Cokie Jr., Donnie's son. Maybe we should roll out the tour to Portland, Seattle, the other what we'd called crap hole cities of the country. Those crap hole cities, by the way, Rubes out there, they pay the welfare for everywhere else. Do you understand that? As you talk shit on them, as you cash the welfare check. The red states don't contribute nearly what they take. The blue areas of the country are where most of the money is made. Because they're the cities. Concentrated economy. Concentrated business. A lot of humans doing work. Those areas that you want to fail so bad, that you want to see subjugated and ruined, they pay your welfare bill in Iowa, in Indiana, etc. Georgia, Oklahoma. It's fascinating to watch this phenomenon. Rubes that think they know something. They try and destroy with their every breath, word, vote. The hand that feeds. It's fascinating to watch. What they don't know that they've been doing for, a good fucking 40 years. The last 20 especially. Ending their empire by their own hand. It's a fascinating phenomenon to watch. And it's all circling the fucking drain right now. And yes, it will go down. Unfortunately. Once you flush the toilet, does the water ever go upward? Unless it's clogged? No. So you got a cokehead who's living off his daddy's name, who had to go to court because him, his brother, and his sister were stealing from a kids' cancer charity. Saying, let's move it to Portland and Seattle and their crap hole cities. Without those crap hole cities, Donnie and his whole family would have so much less money to grift, because that's where all the money comes from. For the most part. Unbelievable. You've given your country to a cokehead, a God knows what Donnie's on. Jesus, look at him. A con man, grifters, liars, cheaters, thieves. And you've given it to a Hitler, that person that comes around every once in a while, as we're all walking back and forth saying, they're all the same. No, they isn't, son. Trump says he's going to be raising about $2 billion from Congress to have D.C. beautified. So you get to pay for Donnie to do to his kingdom what he wants. And that's the way he sees D.C. right now. This is a reflection of me personally. I don't like all these complected people. I don't like the homeless laying around. I'm going to get rid of all that. And bring the finest grasses and blah, blah, fucking blah. And you're going to pay for the $200 million ballroom that will not cost nearly that. So that means a lot of that money's going right in somebody's pocket. So you get to pay to clean up D.C. the way Donnie likes it. In his image. Everything in Donnie's image. Another guest on another show, this is MSNBC, talking about the Bolton thing. It is not lost on me that today is the day that the Epstein files are due to Congress. So today of all days, the DOJ is going to execute this search warrant. I smell a rat. Yep. This is a clip from John Bolton, and it's from 12 days ago, I believe. A clip is going viral from just 12 days ago of John Bolton agreeing that Trump and Patel are poised to go after political enemies. Well, we all knew they were going to do that. Donnie talked about it every day before he got elected. Again, wasn't secret. All this shit he's doing. So what Bolton said back then, 12 days ago, this is a retribution presidency. This morning, Trump ordered the raid of his home. Did you hear Donnie mention any crimes? Nope. Do you care? Nope. You voted for a convicted felon. Why would you care? Oh, they even sent the couch fucker out, and I have a couple quotes for him. I don't like wasting a lot of time on him. He's inconsequential to me. I know a lot of people think he's the future, but what they don't understand, Thale, Leon, others, there is no future. That's what they don't understand. Not when Donnie's done with us. We're in the very early stages of an ongoing investigation into John Bolton. Well, again, the Attorney General is supposed to be doing that, not we. If we think Ambassador Bolton committed a crime, of course, eventually prosecutions will come. There's a broad concern about Ambassador Bolton. Did you hear the couch fucker who has allegations of pedophilia levied against him that he said he was going to sue over, and then he never sued? Did you hear him mention a crime? No, you didn't. There's your answer on what the motivation is. Again, the same interview. Is this retribution? Well, who has said it looks like who has said it looks a lot like retribution? A lot of people who tried to throw Donald Trump in prison for completely fake charges. No, none of the charges are fake. None of them. They're going to find out that what we're doing is being very deliberate and driven by the national interest. No, Donnie's interest. When they say national interest, Donnie's interest. When they say America, that means Donnie. When Donnie says I brought in 17 trillion, that means him, for him, his money. I keep telling you. And yes, this Bolton thing is retribution. I'm still waiting for one administration official to mention a crime. Here's Donnie on the mayor. Mayor Bowser better get her act straight or she won't be mayor very long, because we'll take it over with the federal government and run it like it's supposed to be run. It was a crime-infested rat hole. We know exactly what Donnie means when he talks about these various cities and he makes a comment like that. He's been doing it for years. We know exactly what he means. Again, just yet another abomination. We've already taken it over militarily. We're going to take it over more. Hitler. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm being dramatic? You think this is 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when you were watching some asshole running his mouth, pointing in the wrong motherfucking direction? A lot of you still are watching those people. I can tell by the fact it's a fucking apocalypse. Otherwise it wouldn't be. You'd be smarter. Trump on the Oval Office. You see the way this is looking? I can tell you how much that gold costs. A lot of money. This beautiful office needed it. No, it's not real gold. It's spray painted. He wants you to think it's all real gold. That's what he really wants, all real gold. A whole gold room. This is what Donnie looks like as he's saying that. with the shitty Trump was right about everything hat on. Again, keeping it classy. Again, how's your mortgage, rent, car payment doing? How your kids doing? College fund? Your roof leaking? Your electric bill high? Your homeowner's insurance high? Are you doing okay? Because Donnie's consumed with putting more gold in the Oval Office and building a $200 million ballroom on your fucking dime. As you worry about those things in your life. We're fucking doomed. Again, this is Nero fiddling while Rome burns type shit we're watching here. Here's Donnie again. We haven't had to bring in the regular military, which we're willing to do if we have to. And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. So he's stating outright again that he's sending troops to Chicago, New York, etc. Expect them. Chicago is a mess, and we'll straighten that one out probably next. African Americans, ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. He's saying black ladies are asking him to perform a military takeover of Chicago. Does that sound believable to you? Again, we're fucking doomed. He's cracking jokes about black ladies in Chicago saying, yes, please send the military on our streets. Fucking horrifying. Here's Donnie again talking about the FIFA World Cup. On December 5th of this year, the 2026 FIFA World Cup draw will take place at the Kennedy Center. Some people refer to it as the Trump Kennedy Center. No one does except for Donnie. But we're not prepared to do that quite yet, maybe in a week. So in a week or so, Donnie will announce that his name is added to the Kennedy Center. Hitler. Trump says he's inviting Putin to the FIFA World Cup because he's been very respectful of me and our country, but not so respectful of others. Donnie showed a picture of Boss Putin. That's what that looks like. The reporter said, hey, didn't Putin just bomb an American factory in Ukraine? And Donnie was like, well, some things aren't so good, but, you know. That's Boss Putin. I got to do what he wants. Can you fucking believe it? Nah, he's not a Russian asset. He's not Donnie Krasnov. Not at all. You know what, Rubes? You were right. It's all a hoax. Trump on the Epstein files. You got a lot of people who could be mentioned. The reporters asked him about the Epstein files, so of course he goes right to protecting himself. You got a lot of people who could be mentioned in those files and don't deserve to be. That means I'm all over the files. That's what Donnie's saying. And I don't want you to know about it. Because he knew everyone in Palm Beach. He just happened to know Donnie. They weren't best friends or anything. Actually, they were literally best friends. Literally. The whole Epstein thing is a Democrat hoax. No, it isn't. The Democrats didn't force the Republicans or MAGA to say we're going to release these files. Democrats didn't force you to lie and say the files don't exist. And lie and say they were on your desk. And lie why you had 1,000 FBI agents going through them. You guys did that all on your own. You dug this grave, in other words. Now you want to blame it on somebody else. And again, it's a shame for 10 years that all Donnie had to do was say Democrat hoax or hoax, and the Rubes walked away with a talking point that they got to parrot as everything got taken from them. And it's going to be 10 times worse this time. Trump now claims he solved 10 wars. If you think about pre-wars, beyond parity, yes, he said he stopped 7, and he said, now that I think about it, there was 3 other ones. If you talk about pre-wars. The fish keeps getting bigger. Again. Here's Donnie again on the photo with Putin. I was just sent a picture. I'm going to sign this. Vladimir Putin, who I believe will be coming. That was very nice. Reporter. Russia bombed a U.S. factory. Trump, I'm not happy about it. The new Newsom hat coming out. Newsom was right about everything. I'm getting one. Gotta love it. New merch coming soon. You're welcome, Patriots. That's from Gavin himself. He said that. In another move toward dictatorship, Trump says there is no limit on how long he can keep the military on American streets. Here's a quote. If I have a national emergency, I could keep the troops there as long as I want. That was the plan all along. He did it a bunch of times in the first term. Just declare an emergency, use some legal loophole, and I can become dictator and put their own military on their own streets against them. Fuck this cunt to the 10th circle of hell for doing that, by the way. And anyone defending it or promoting it, my God. How dare he, you, or anyone turn those troops on us? The sad part is the troops went along, and so did the generals. What a fucking shame that is. Do you know what you've done, generals and soldiers? Ended your empire and the world as we know it. I'm serious. Wait till you see. I've seen enough already with the camps and machine guns on the street. What more do you need to see to know where it's going? Going straight the fuck head first into dystopia. That's where it's fucking going. And again, it's real this time. Again, this ain't just another motherfucker talking. You wish it was, son. I wish it was. Here's Donnie again. The people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. He means the military. African American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, Mr. Trump, come to Chicago. I did great with the black vote. Chicago will be our next. Then we're going to help with New York. Again, stating outright, he's sending the military to these 2 cities. On top of what he's already done. Again, just abomination after abomination after abomination. Every clip. In one day. Have you ever seen anything like this? I haven't. That's how I know this thing is different. And again, I'm seeing a whole bunch of people online thinking he's going to die soon. He is not going to die soon. I am sorry. The devil gonna keep him alive, and I'm dead serious when I say that. Just like Adolf. Chicago will be our next, and then we're gonna help with New York. I love how, again, straight inversion of reality. He's doing the opposite of helping. He's going to subjugate the population using their own military that they pay for. Ain't helping jack shit except end the empire. It's working out great in D.C. No one's out on the streets. No one's eating out. No one's spending any money. Really great. But hey, the subjugation's worth it. Right, fuckheads? This is Donnie on the black paint that you probably paid $8 billion for, which went right in Donnie's goddamn pocket. Trump thanks Kristi Noem for painting the border wall black because black makes the steel very hot. It's untouchable. You could fry an egg on it. Everyone's pointing out the fact that, well, at night, there will be no heat. There'll be no sun rays heating that black paint up. Not that it would matter. There's stuff called gloves. There's things called a sawzall. There's a thing called a shovel. There's a thing called rope. I seen motherfuckers climb these fences barehanded. The real tall ones, like it ain't shit. This is a joke. That's why I think it's just a kickback scheme. One of his buddies had, 87 million gallons of black paint, couldn't get rid of it. Hey, we'll just charge it to the government at 8 times the actual cost. We'll pocket it. We'll paint the fence with it. The rubes will love it. They love cruelty. California and Denmark signed a trade agreement. A new partnership between California and Denmark. Our message to the rest of the world is clear. California is a stable, reliable partner no matter who's in the White House. You know what this is a setup for, right? When the shit hits the fan and states like California fucking secede, they'll already have trade set up. And the rest of us will die. Because we'll be in Donnie's territory. They're thinking long term here. That's what Gavin's thinking. He knows there's a chance Cali might have to break off. And without Cali, this country's done. Take away New York as well, forget about it. It's just a welfare state. So, know what you're looking at here. Not only is Canada and Mexico going around the U.S. with trade, now California's starting to do it. Of course, Donnie's going to subjugate the whole country, but you people don't know that yet. Is it a possibility that you do nothing if Putin doesn't come to the table? I'll see whose fault it is. I'll know in 2 weeks what I'm going to do. Again, we get the 2 weeks. We get no answer. I'll tell you in 2 weeks, and then nothing happens in 2 weeks. And we get, I'll see whose fault it is. Well, we know whose fault everything is. Vlad Putin, one guy. And Krasnov is helping. There's the answer. Buddy Stani Krasnov, he's owned by, Vlad. Peter Thiel, the Palantir co-founder with close ties to J.D. Vance, will hold a 4-part lecture series on the Antichrist. And what Pete will do is try and convince you that the Antichrist must be a liberal. And you fucking idiots, a lot of you, will take it seriously. Because you're still on that tip as you're literally watching the right wing take over your country forever. Yeah, that the Antichrist has to be a liberal thing died for me a long time ago. In fact, I never believed it. That's what Pete will spend his time doing. Why? Because Pete's financing the Antichrist, and the Antichrist gives Pete, Greasy Pete, that is, a fuck ton of welfare. Your money. It's the only reason the guy's rich, actually. Leon, too. Same thing. And Leon helped build all this as well, and he gets a fuck ton of your money in the form of welfare as well. Now he's going to give his lecture. A Nazi who's literally financing the Antichrist, whether he knows it or not, I could fucking care less, is going to try and convince you again, because I've already heard the spiel, that the Antichrist would be someone like Greta Thunberg, who has no power. No, the Antichrist would be someone like Donnie Shitbags. So that's what he'll spend his time doing. And again, who better to give a lecture on the Antichrist than the guy who's financing the Antichrist and takes, I don't know, truckloads of welfare money from the United States, from the Antichrist, directly. He's the perfect guy to do it. But he has an agenda. I don't. I never did. I always was an equal opportunity searcher for the Antichrist. When I pondered different world leaders, and are we in that time? Over the decades, I never said to myself, it's got to be a right-winger, it's got to be a liberal, got to be this, got to be that. That's why I'm right and you're wrong. Because I didn't let any bias get in the way of it. You did. You didn't like liberals, therefore, Alex Jones, Cerno, all you people were part of the right wing, so you talk shit on liberals, therefore liberals must be evil, therefore the Antichrist would be a liberal. Nope, it was you, son, again. You were the hand, you were the brain, you made it all come to fruition. It was you. You were the hand of Satan. Literally. Whether you knew it or not, again, irrelevant, I could care less. Doesn't matter. We're still right here. So again, who better to give the speech, give the lecture, than the guy who's financing the Antichrist and taking a ton of welfare? So then again, who's financing who? I guess just a circle. Donnie gives, billions in welfare. Thale gives it back later in donations, and it just... Data centers are invading America. 450 built this year alone. I did not know that. That's an insane number. I was wondering how many there were already, how big this thing already was. 450. Let's just call it 500 across the country, all sucking up massive amounts of water and electricity. So if you have one of these things near you, your electric going up. Your water bill going up too. I promise. Because they're going to jack demand way the fuck up. 500? And they're building more. This is all the rage with the oligarchy. Again, our landscape's going to look like fucking Blade Runner, just these huge miles-long buildings of data centers and weird futuristic shit like that. I'm not kidding. That's the utopia they see, they want for you. $450 built this year alone, often on farmland in poor regions. Right, because they can't fight back. They bring massive energy draws, water consumption, and fortify the surveillance nexus. This isn't just surveillance, it's a land grab by big tech sold as innovation. With the data centers, remember they inducted 4 or 5 tech bros with the rank of lieutenant colonel into the military, so they got your military. They got your government through AI, Leon, and Doge. Getting all the rural, weird areas with the the data centers. Sounds quite dystopian to me. Again, 450 already built. That's a fuck ton. And again, they use millions of gallons of water per day, and my God, the electricity they must use. What a fucking nightmare. What a dystopian nightmare. Donnie talking about Los Angeles, who he's already unleashed their own military against. Los Angeles is poorly run. We have a mayor there that can't even get permits to the people that lost their houses. The governor's incompetent. I know Gavin really well. He's an incompetent guy with a good line of bullshit, and he doesn't get the job done. But Donnie does from the golf course, right? What a fucking joke. He isn't fit to shine Newsom's shoes. That's the sad part of all this. Donnie announced that we now own, or the Reich now owns 10% of the company Intel. That's called socialism. That's called communism. Look the words up because I know you don't know what they mean. Rubes. You voted for it. So did the greedy at the top. You all literally voted for communism. The state coming in and taking what is yours. How much tribute has he taken? How many times has he told you to run your business a certain way or threaten you with tariffs? How much money has he taken in tariffs from you? Oligarchy. I told you what would happen. He'd never stop coming to your door in a million different ways. And he'd suck you all dry. And there ain't a fucking thing you could do about it. But you put him in. Now he's got 10% of Intel. I believe he got 20% or 15% of some other company's foreign dealings. It's called communism when, the government starts owning part or all of the company. What's next? Seizing assets? Like Vlad stole $100 million from Google a few years ago. Right out of their bank account like it wasn't shit. That's where this shit leads to. Again, I told you before the election as well. And after. Donnie runs a protection racket. That's how he thinks, like a mobster. Every business must pay him tribute. That's what that 10% is. You want to do business in America, major company, in the world, major company. You want to use the Suez, the Panama? Pay me. That's what mobsters do. You pay me my tribute, my percentage. I leave you alone for a little while till I come back for more. Protection racket, same philosophy. We've seen them do it with country after country. We had some military in Europe. Oh, we're protecting Europe, they should pay us. We're protecting Canada, they should pay us. Everybody should pay us. And by us, I mean fat-ass diaper Donnie. Protection racket. You're going to keep coming to your doors for this 10, 20%. More companies are going to follow suit when they want to do a merger or deal, whatever. I told you he would suck you all dry. He would never stop coming. But you knew better. In your executive wisdom. Now Donnie gets 10% of Intel. And not America, Donnie. He'll say America. Have you seen any of the checks, son? Any of the tariff money that go in your pocket? No, you paid it. Secretary Hegseth just ordered National Guard members patrolling the streets of D.C. to begin carrying their service weapons, so arming the troops that are turned against you, that you pay for with your tax money, that are in D.C. during the military takeover of your country. None of that drama, what I just said. All actual reality. Secretary of Defense says start carrying weapons. It's really going in a great direction, isn't it? So what exactly is the conservative critique of Zoran Mamdani now that Trump is busy seizing the means of production, indeed, for the state? Communism, socialism. They've been talking shit on this Mamdani guy is running for governor of New York, mayor of New York City, something like that. That he's a commie. Meanwhile, Donnie taking percentages and tribute payments. That's commie shit, son. And you voted for it. The Rubes voted for commie or communism, and so did the greedy at the top. They didn't know it at the time because they're stupid. But that's literally what they voted for. Someone to come in and take what is theirs. And boy, is he doing that, isn't he? Isn't he, guys? All of you who thought you would benefit, I know. And still, more of you that still think you'll benefit as you watch people be rounded up. You think somehow this Reich will benefit you. Nope. This is Donnie on 8/7/25. Earlier this month, the CEO of Intel is highly conflicted and must resign immediately. So, what did I say when Donnie makes comments like that? Tim Apple? Google? He's made comments about all of you like that. What did I say? When he makes a comment like that, that means it's... What have you done for me lately? Where's my monthly tribute payment? It's been like 3 weeks. What the fuck? What's going on? Once again, the CEO of Intel is highly conflicted and must resign immediately. I probably read you this on camera when he said it. Here's today. The United States of America now fully owns and controls 10% of Intel. That's called communism or socialism. The highly respected chief executive officer of the company. So now he's highly respected. So Mr. Sundar, Tim Apple, all of you, like I said way before this, when he talks shit on you like this, it means, what have you done for me lately? I'm ready for more tribute. Where you at? All these companies have already thrown him $1 million in tribute. All the CEOs. What did I say then? I said, you think that's going to be enough, son? To Zuckerberg and all of them. Said it right here on camera to you. Oh no. Now Donnie back at the trough again. Now I want 10%. Again, all you wise, educated people that think you're so smart. And that's educated in quotes. You do not know what you have done. And if it wasn't so serious, my dumb ass would not be sitting here talking to a fucking camera because I'm censored for the millionth fucking time. I kept telling you he'd always coming back for more. What does the mob do? They take all your profits and more until you don't exist. And they move on to the next like a cancer. That's why mob rule, Cosa Nostra type mob rule at the top is so dangerous. Trump on Bolton. I try and stay out of that stuff. I'm allowed to be in. I'm chief law enforcement officer, believe it or not. I don't like to go around saying that, but I am. That means Donnie is in. We all know he orchestrated the whole thing. Oh, the new Gavin t-shirt. Remember the picture I showed you with Hulk Hogan and Tucker Carlson and Kid Rock? Gavin? New t-shirt coming out. I'm going to get one. The Chosen One, a fantastic shirt. That's in quotes, the word fantastic. Coming soon from Gavin Newsom personally. George Conway is commenting on the 10% of Intel deal, and he said America got that 10%. No, remember, class, when Donnie says America, that means me. You ain't getting no check from Intel, is you, son? Absolutely fucking not. He will, though. The Nazis extorted German businesses as well in a number of different ways. Yeah, what were the Nazis? Well, they were a mob. They didn't believe in law and order or anything. They were a mob. You pay us, or we kill you. Same mob mentality that the mob has in America. Extorting businesses again. George Conway's saying it. I said it before the election. That do you want your country to be Russia? On this very channel. Got 30 views. Now your country's Russia, where the king, czar, emperor, Caesar, dictator takes a percentage of your company because you're fucking stupid. And you thought you knew better. Nope. There's many things you people don't know that have a lot of money that work in pretty offices. So much. So beyond you. And that's why it's all over now. Because the salary of the position was God, not God. To you. I said, you know what? I think the United States should be given 10% of Intel. Donnie said that. And you know, when I say the United States, I mean my fucking pocket. And everybody knows it. And do you think he'll stop here, Mr. Sundar, Zuckerberg, Musk, Bezos, Gates? Oh no, son. He'll never stop coming to your door. Good luck. The big question is, how long do we stay? He's talking about the military in D.C. Because if we stay, we want to make sure it doesn't come back. Well, what do you mean it? So we have to take care of these criminals. Donnie's a convicted felon, by the way. Who's saying that? We can take everybody out and you have a great capital. Take everybody out. Where are we going to put them? Not lock them up, not arrest them. Take everybody out. And when a mobster says take everybody out, yes, eventually, if not already, again, CCOT, who knows what's going on. We will get to that extermination point. I knew that before the election. Again, that's why I was yelling. Gavin's got another, now he's got looks like a wife beater. Trump is not hot. Wife beater shirt. Some more Gavin merchandise. I'm going to get one. I don't even like wife beaters, but, you know. I'm going to be in the Gavin cult. Right, Rubes? Wear it while it's hot. Trump is not hot. That's what it says on the wife beater. In orange. Donnie again. Have you spoken to Vladimir Putin about the fact that a big U.S. factory was hit in an airstrike in Ukraine? Donnie says, I'm not happy about anything having to do with that war. I settled 7 wars. And actually, if you think about pre-wars, add 3 more, so it would be 10. So again, so you know I didn't pull that out of my ass when I read it to you earlier. That's him actually saying it. Again, another abomination, lying about being some great man of peace when he's bombed 3 countries, has masked men terrorizing the community, kidnapping people, deployed military on your streets, telling companies, I want a percentage. Like the Italian mob or something. Ten wars Donnie has stopped. Now give him his Nobel. That's what he's trying to say. Abomination after abomination all in one day. It's incredible. Trump on the raid at Bolton's home. I'm not a fan of John Bolton. He's a major sleazebag. He suffers major Trump derangement syndrome, says the convicted felon. I guess his house was raided today. Donnie made it happen, so he ain't guessing shit. But my house was raided, also called Mar-a-Lago. I know the feeling. It's not a good feeling. Here's the difference, Rubes. You ready? I know you got the talking points all ready to go that you got off of Fox and from Russia and all that. Here's the thing, and I don't need talking points. There was box upon box stacked overhead high in the shitter at Mar-a-Lago of classified documents that were intentionally stolen by the ex-president, that the FBI found and photographed. They knew he had them before they went, because he admitted he had them, but he said they were his. So they had to go raid Mar-a-Lago. They had no choice. Donnie didn't give them a choice. They said, hey, we'll keep it quiet, just bring them back. Nope, they're mine. Vlad wants them. They had to. Bolton, did they find boxes of classified documents in the shitter? No. Pure retribution, pure revenge for criticism. Everyone fucking knows it. Everyone knows Donnie's guilty when they raided his place. We saw the pictures. Fuck out of here. Again, the situations are never the same. Every argument you people have is disingenuous bullshit. Every damn time. Donnie pretend he don't know nothing about it. No one's been talking about John Bolton getting arrested for anything. All of a sudden his house is getting raided? Yeah, okay. Abrego Garcia, I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this because I know what the Reich's going to do. They finally let him off and let him go home. The Reich waited about 5 seconds from the time the news broke that he was going to be allowed to go home to say that we're going to ship his ass to Uganda. You heard me, Uganda. That's why I didn't really want to celebrate this or even talk about it. Because they're just going to come grab him again. Look, these people are of Satan, man, and they got a point to prove how evil they can be. And here's the end. And it's a great place to end it. And I just saw this on Twitter today. The reason you should care is not that it could happen to you, but that it is already happening to others. Indeed, that's why I care. Because I don't want to see it happen to anyone. I don't want to see my country turn into it, to 1933 Germany. Maybe some of you do. Well, fuck you. I'm not you. In other words, you shouldn't only care when it comes to your doorstep, Rubes. And it's terrible that we even need to say this out loud. But so many humans fit this description, where until it comes to their door, they could fucking care less. There could be bodies on pikes down the street. As long as it didn't come to their doorstep, they would not fucking care. And that's most of humanity. In other words, just like the old poem about Nazi Germany. First they came for the liberals, trade unionists, then they came for this group, then they came for me, and there was no one to speak out. That's why you care about it happening to other people first, before it gets to your doorstep. It's too late now. This attitude did not win the day, win the era that is 2025. Rubery did. Therefore, it's the end of our nation, the end of the empire, and the end of everything. I'm sorry. I didn't want it. And I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not. So care before it gets to your doorstep. That's how you stop Adolf from becoming Adolf. Too late, though. It's already over. Checkmate. Troops in D.C., it's over. He can do whatever he wants now. And as always, my final message is when the mark comes, you must say no, no matter what it cost you. That will be coming your way. An image, a currency, already exists with the number on it. Will be switched over to that. If you want to participate in society, you'll have to switch over. You'll have to make a pledge. You'll have to take a mark. Once you do that, you can never go back. You're lost forever. Forever. Irreversible. You must say no when that time comes, no matter what it costs you. Despite what logic says. And I gotta get going. I'm very tired. I wasn't even gonna come on. But so many abominations took place. Even though only 10 people will watch this. So many. In one fucking day. And before I go, as always, I'll put the PayPal at the top of the comment section. If anyone wants to help out, I'd really appreciate it. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and until the next episode.